Look at how fast the hive do without anything. No skill haste. We got nothing but that perfect overclock going. All right, let's do this. Ooh.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
What's up, agents? How y'all doing? Hope everybody's hanging in there, being as safe as you guys need to be. Today, I just wanted to go over some of the new things that this season has brought, basically going through the seasonal reward patterns. Of course, you guys can get these earlier on through caches and just open world activities and things, but these are things you will specifically earn as you go through. The exotics, I do not believe you can get them until you unlock them through the seasonal pass. So, without further ado, let's jump on into some of this. Starting at level 2, you'll start to unlock the Brazo de Arcabuz gear set. So first of all, this is all armor core. Now, there is one exception with the name piece, but they've changed it. But it's basically an armor core setup that gives you the first piece plus 10% skill haste. The second piece will give you plus 1 skill tier. And the third piece will increase your magazine size by 20%. Now, at first glance, this seems like it would effectively benefit most armor type builds where you could also spec in and get a little extra skill power. Not to mention the fact that 20% magazine size could help things like shotguns or anything you're using in, say, a shield or any sort of armor build. So, not a terrible gear set. It doesn't really lend itself very well to the skill builds we're looking at because this is kind of meant to add some skill power on top of that. However, you could probably work some ways around this. I don't think endgame wise for skill builds this would be a brand set you would go to. But I'm interested with you armor core guys, anybody that does tank builds, what you guys would use or what you guys think of this gear set. So starting at level 11, you will start to unlock the Umbra initiative gear set. So 2 pieces will net you 15% crit hit chance. 3 piece will add 30% reload speed. Now once you get to the 4 piece, that unlocks the from into the shadows into the light perk. And this essentially, while you are in cover, you will build stacks up, and these stacks will make you do more critical hit damage and increase the rate of fire of your weapon. This will not kick into effect until you leave cover and you start moving. You'll lose stacks less quickly if you're sprinting, but if you're sprinting, you can't fire your weapon. So most of the time, to take advantage of this, of course, you are going to be moving while firing. You may sprint to get to the next enemy, but overall, you're going to try to take advantage of those stacks while you can as quickly as possible. While you're out of cover, on the flip side, you'll be building up armor while you're out of cover, building stacks. So this is basically an in cover, out of cover, out of cover build. So a lot of maintenance with it, but if you are a standard run and gun sort of player, maybe this is something you'll dig dealing with. Once you guys get to level 30, you will unlock the stage left. So this is the SOCOM M1A named rifle. And this comes with the perfect sledgehammer perk. So this will just up the whole bang to the buck you get from the sledgehammer perk when tossing a grenade. And playing a bit with my grenadier build, I'll probably re-release the new version of it since there's some new equipment pretty soon. But it does work great with a purpose-built grenadier build with the Costas that go bag, things like that. It's a really niche sort of play style, and I'm not a huge fan of this perk, but if you dig the SOCOM M1A and you like throwing grenades, this may be one for you. Now, once you hit level 40, you're going to unlock the Brazo de Arcabuz name backpack, the Hermano, the brother. And this comes with a very interesting perk. This comes with perfect overclock. Now, overclock in its native form is a perk that I think almost everybody passed on. I almost never saw this working, but amazingly enough, the perfect overclock, this is possibly the best of the perfect perks simply for how much it adds. Okay, so let's just quickly break this down. We're going to deviate for a second and talk about the perfect overclock versus overclock perk, guys. So overclock has a 7-meter range. Perfect overclock has 15. Now that's the radius, right? So you are well over doubling the amount of area of effect that you provide the buffs. So right out the gate, that's huge. Now, the reload speed goes from 25% to 30%, so that's all right. That sounds good. But again, that's within a much larger area of effect now. So you can actively and effectively give this buff to that many more teammates, and they don't have to all huddle together so 1 or 2 explosions can take everybody out. The biggest change, and this is where it really shines, and this is where I'm going to be coming out with my new support build pretty soon. Every second, the standard overclock also takes off an additional 0.2 seconds. So, it's basically you get 20% additional cooldown. Perfect overclock, 0.6. Every second that goes by, it takes 0.6 seconds off. This will get your entire team's skills back significantly quicker. And this, you could argue, this alleviates so much need for skill haste. Or you could argue that speccing into a bunch of skill haste, you could basically have 100% uptime on a lot of skills. Or in the case of things like the Reviver Hive for the team, where people may be using that and it has extremely long cooldown, you could significantly cut down the cooldown time, especially if you combine this something with like the BTSU Overcharge or something like that. So the Hermano backpack may be one of the coolest and maybe even the coolest thing that got released with this new season. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon, because at level 70, we get what actually probably is my favorite gear piece that we got. Not gear piece, sorry, brand set, named item, the Picaro's holster. So this did go through an overhaul already, but what this brings to the table is amazing. So before the Picaro's, it was weapon core. It gave you plus 20%, and then you could get 2 standard attributes. They changed it because of the Brazo's Day Arcabuz is an armor set. They changed it back so it is armor core naturally, but instead of having 2 standard attributes, the lower attribute is actually a core attribute. It will always roll with 15% weapon damage. You cannot roll the core attribute as weapon damage, so you cannot double dip and get 30% weapon damage out of this. Of course, you can use this in a DPS build if you want to get a little more armor, but you can only roll armor core or skill tier on this. But this is an amazing piece. This is like a mini exotic. This is like the Memento, but a named piece. So you could use it in combination with the Memento, which actually, if I remember correctly, maybe I'll put the link up above here to that build. Awesome, awesome. So now when we get to level 80, we're looking at the Lefty Shot Gun. So this is basically the same thing as the stage left. Comes with the perfect sledgehammer perk. If you like shotguns, this works great. The funny thing about this is going back through and checking out some of the things that they've said. Apparently this is supposed to be the ACS 12, not this S, what is it, SI, I forget. But it's supposed to be the ACS 12, so it's supposed to be the full auto. If they change this to the ACS 12 and it becomes the full auto, I might actually use this a little bit more. Right now for my Grenadier build, I'm going to prefer to use this stage left, the SOCOM. But we'll hope for that. But yeah, so this is another method of getting that perfect sledgehammer perk. Now we get to the cool stuff. Once you hit level 85, the first exotic, the Busy Little Bee. So this is a sidearm. And what this does is every different enemy that you hit will build a stack. You can stack up to 10, and each stack is the equivalent of 20% weapon damage. So that means you could stack up to 200% weapon damage that when swapping weapons lasts 10 seconds and will add whatever amount of stacks you have to that weapon damage. This will most likely, I imagine, will be used for armor-based builds. Probably people with either the Crusader or the Striker shield who want to whip out the sidearm, hit quite a few targets, and then swap over to whatever they're using as their primary weapon and mow things down with all that bonus damage. I'm not sure what else it might be used for, but hey, let me know in the comments if you our theory crafting an even cooler idea behind it. And last, at level 90, you will get the Bloody Knuckles. So this is a weapon core exotic glove. So this is kind of a strange one. Either hitting an enemy with a grenade or meleeing an enemy grants you 25% weapon damage or 100% bonus melee damage. This buff lasts a full 20 seconds. Now, once the buff is gone, you cannot reactivate it for a full 60 seconds. Here's the silly thing. As long as you hit them with another grenade or another melee, it eliminates the cooldown. Well, if you have to hit them with a melee or a grenade anyway, then what's the point of the cooldown? The cooldown is pointless because you hit them with another one and it automatically resets it and you're good. Anyway, this can add quite a bit of bonus damage if you are running with a melee build, you're trying to do any directives or anything where you got to get a bunch of melee kills. The other thing is it for a run and gun shield build, it may be something worth using too. You know, if the enemy's up on you, you pop them with the shield melee, and now you're getting that 25% bonus weapon damage. And if anybody happens to walk up on you again, you can just melee them again to keep that rocking. I have not tested this yet. I imagine that you have to wait for the initial 20-second timer to go down before another melee will reset it. But I could be wrong. Maybe even while the buff is active, if you melee another guy, maybe it'll reset the buff. I'm not sure on that. Again, leave a comment down below. So I gotta say, I am happy that we are still getting new stuff coming into the game. Some new ideas, some things to play with. You know, it's interesting that they bring a weapon perk, you know, a brand new weapon perk into the game that kind of is pushing people to use grenades. Acosta's go bag was something that I almost never saw anybody using it. I probably claim that it was one of the most useless exotics overall because there was just so many other things that could do a better job, and at least it's lending itself to some actual builds now. So one of the next videos coming up, maybe the next one I'll do, is that Grenadier build and revisit it just so some people can see how you can get use out of those perks if you want. If I missed anything, you guys have any comments, you guys have anything you want me to do in the near future here, let me know down below. Do me a favor, smash that like button on the way out of here. Hopefully by now I have earned your guys' subscription. Best thing you can do to help my channel is share this video. Leave any comments down below. You agents, be as safe as you need to be out there, and I will catch you all in the dark zone. Peace out, everybody. So I could have just left right here, but I didn't. Dude, why does my dude keep getting out from behind the cover when all I want to do... Oh, I know why. Because we have Overwatch on. So because we want to stay behind cover, it's going to make us get out of cover every chance it gets so that we don't have our buff. That makes sense. Of course. Alright, is the big dude going to be coming out pretty soon? There he is. Okay, now is where we're fucked. Just got to take everything else out first.
Serious trauma detected.
This counts, if this level 30 counts towards my level 40 ferocious calm expertise level, or if I'm just deluding myself into thinking I'm cooler than I am.
An agent needs assistance. Medical assistance needed.
Don't wuss out on me, dudes. Don't wuss out on me, dudes. Oh, they're gonna wuss out on me. Alright, fall back to my normal fallback position. Let's go. Okay, did we do it? Oh, my shit's down. Dude, come on. You guys know that's not where I wanted to go.